It's the Brad and John Show.
It is the Brad and John Show. Today's date is December 8th. It's a Monday, and I didn't ring it in the A block. I did in B block, but I'll ring it again. C block, if you're out and about, don't forget, put some money in the kettle for Salvation Army. John, on our 956 Westplex line, which you can either text or leave a voicemail, we got a text.
Okay. Is that something to celebrate?
I believe this is from...
And is it a spam bot that says, we have registered a charge from Amazon. Call us back and we will credit your account.
Okay. Want me to read it here?
Sure.
Ugh, nothing like waking up to some BS, and they use the whole word, conversation about, quote, lack of male energy, and that is why a woman is lesbian is really whack. Oh,
thank you, Shelley.
No, it's not Shelley. Oh, and hopes that Trump turns our country to be while male dominated. I think it should be white male. It says while male dominated is even worse. Those type of opinions is what is causing this country to fall apart. I can't even ...
Oh, now why is Agnes listening? I thought you guys had a beef.
It's not Agnes. It's not Shelley. It
is.
And
you know who it is, though? I
do not. It's a female. I believe it's a female.
How do you know it's a female?
I don't. I guess it's a female.
Okay, so you're guessing.
Right, I'm guessing. You know, I mean.
Hey, listen. We appreciate the feedback. That's all, and that's very encouraging feedback. I appreciate that, and that solidifies my position.
Okay.
And I appreciate you sharing that opinion there.
But did you?
And Brad, you've mentioned before too. Remember the old Rush Limbaugh days, that people who would hate listen to Howard Stern or hate listen to Rush Limbaugh? That's beautiful.
Right. Okay. Did you mention lack of male energy? I don't think I did that. Did you say
I did. Yeah. I said that, a Rosie O'Donnell clearly, I mean, I'm not saying that she's been missing a phallus for the last several decades, but Brad, think of how frustrating your life would be if you hate listened to two guys on the radio, took out your phone, and then texted a line to tell them that you dislike conversations about male energy. So where are you in your life if you do that? You get what I'm saying?
Well, John, I always find it interesting that even though we have all this, we don't have discrimination anymore and we have integration and people, there's no segregation anymore. And if you go back in my life, not in yours, John, but in my lifespan, I mean, I was born when, especially in the South, there were separate restrooms for black and white people. And if you were a black person, remember the Rosa Parks things, you had to ride in the back of the bus. Okay, that doesn't exist anymore. I mean, it's just gone. And not only that, and it's interesting is I read an article recently, sort of a op-ed article, and someone is complaining about Obama's wife. Okay, and the idea is all she's doing is complaining. She's complaining about this. She's complaining about that. Matter of fact, she complained about the fact that she's talked about the fact that it's discriminatory, or not discriminatory. She mentioned the fact that she has to straighten her hair because that's the accepted norm for people in the United States for women to have straight hair. Since when? I mean, I don't. When I read that, I thought to myself, okay, I know women who have curly hair. As a matter of fact, a lot of women. There was a time when you wanted to have curly hair. Remember, you'd go to the grocery store or something like that. Maybe this predates you. And the women would be in their curlers because they had an event they were going to, like a wedding reception or something like that night. So, and then Michelle Obama is complaining about this and complaining about that. And the guy essentially says she has 3 mansions around the country. They have a huge place in Chicago. They have a huge place, on Martha's Vineyard, and they have some other place. They're building this monstrous library to her husband in Chicago, which is tremendously over budget. She can do anything she wants. Remember, in fact, there was a point in time during the election run-up to 2024 when they thought the secret bullet was going to be Michelle Obama was going to come out as the Democratic candidate for the United States presidency. And the polls stated that if she did, she would beat Trump handily. So why is Michelle Obama complaining all the time? Why, John? Explain that to me.
Well, I think she would make the argument that her husband beat the odds and was elected in a very racist country because they as a couple were just so good and so brilliant, had such a dazzling vision. And so, I mean, again, Brad, it's kind of like Rosie O'Donnell. What is Mike Obama going to talk about if she doesn't talk about racism? Like, and for all I know, maybe she does a lot of charity work or something, but she could travel the country. There's a lot of, self-hating white women in Tower Grove that would pay $200 to go to a luncheon for Michelle Obama. She could raise a lot of money for worthwhile causes if she just went around speaking 5 days a week. But I guess she'd rather talk about racism here and there and have people on weekday conservative talk shows talk about her. You know?
But John, here's my point in the whole thing with Obama, okay? I'm a big fan of meritocracy, okay? I say the best man won. Barack Obama won this president. We had him
he was certainly more captivating of a candidate than either John McCain or Mitt Romney. That's without a doubt.
Exactly. The best man won. And to me, what that signified is that we were no longer a racist country. If the best man was a black person, or if it was a lesbian woman, if Rosie O'Donnell decided she wanted to run for president and she made a compelling campaign and she became elected to the president of the United States, I would say good for her. Because remember, one of the basic precepts of Brad is I am always for the underdog because I have been the underdog most of my life. The things I've done to this day, one guy owning a radio station, owning 3 radio stations, I'm the underdog because I have to battle the other radio station operators who won't, work with me on promoting radio. Instead, they're always trying to cut me down. I'm fighting the battle of losing advertising revenue to all the social media accounts. I'm the underdog. Barack Obama is the underdog. Donald Trump is the underdog. Remember, I've got a promo that's running on the station, which is pretty funny. This is something that I pulled off of YouTube, and it's funny. It's about a minute and a half long, and it's a compilation of all these big, important people talking about Trump. This is going back to 2015 and 2016 about how he will never be elected president. And you've got all sorts of people. And it starts off with the Bill Maher show. You probably remember this clip where they're having a round table and Ann Coulter.
She was the first one to say it.
Right. Ann Coulter was one of the guests. And when Bill Maher said, okay, of all the candidates announced right now, who do you think is going to be the president of the United States in 2016? And she says, Donald Trump. And the audience laughed for like 30 seconds. Am I kidding? I mean,
yeah. I mean, nobody believed at that time, Brad.
Right. He's an underdog. I like the underdog.
Brad, let me interrupt. When you say you own 3 stations, most people know about Westplex Talk, Westplex 107.1, and I want to talk about their song in just a minute, the AI song, because I love it and I was singing it all weekend. If people ask you what your 3rd station is, what's your 3rd station?
Crap.
Okay, and what do you broadcast on Crap?
Westplex 107.1. It's simulcast.
Okay, so you have 2 stations, you have 3 frequencies,
yes.
And you have 2 stations, right?
Yeah, and I'm trying to get up to like KFUO where they have 9 frequencies and they put the same thing on all the different frequencies, but that's
I get what you're saying. I love, by the way, my catchiest song over the weekend is the Westplex 107.1 theme. I heard it either 2 or 3 times driving. Well, I was in Chesterfield, which is amazing because you have a geofence signal, Brad. But I love the Westplex 107.1 song that you have on the air.
See, now here's an interesting thing. I have offered that as an advertising venue.
And what have people said?
They look at me like, what?
But according to you, Hotworks loves their jingle.
No.
You have 24 hours to compete, Brad.
No. I'm saying I brought this up at one of my networking meetings. I will put a song together for your business. And I did this for 3 different people. And I'll run it on the radio as a song. And people went like, what? How would that work? I go, I'll put it in a music rotation. It'll be a song. So my song about my company will play on your radio station? Yeah. Matter of fact, I've told the story. Did I imagine this or did I say this on the air?
You told it.
A couple weeks ago, I said to myself, I'm just going to take Westplex 107.1 and instead of playing all the artists, I'm just going to create AI songs for all my clients, and the radio station will be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, an ad for
jingles,
all the clients.
Yeah.
Well, not jingles, songs for clients.
Well, yeah, they're jingles. I love the Westplex 107.1, and just think, Brad, and I praised you for this, and I'll praise you again on your commercial song station idea. Think if you, and I say this respectfully, if you put effort into the lyrics, if you didn't just give AI. Say, hey, make a song. Like you could take Westplex 107.1, which has a catchy jingle. That could play if you replace the name of the station in San Jose or Wyoming. There's nothing specific about the region, like Women of the West. My favorite line of that song, though, is our fight. And I think women in the Westplex are always fighting. Like Like, we want to be able to access Botox at that boutique place in Lake St. Louis. We want to be able to get more lip fillers. This is our fight. That's why I think that song resonates with the women of the West. Westplex 107.1, dun-dun-dun-dun of the setting sun.
No, here's the best song right here.
Yeah, yeah. 2 years flew by, man, a blur flash like a lightning bolt, a crazy, brilliant and dash. We talked, we laughed, we made some noise, just two radio boys. Oh, the Brad and John show, yeah, you know it as BJShow.co. 2 years of magic, how did it go so fast? The Brad and John show, built to last.
There you go, John. That's your 2-year anniversary song.
You know, we have a listener to the show, Brad, who you and I both know, who we will occasionally text with, whose birthday is tomorrow. I wonder if there could be a wacky AI video, I don't know, 8 seconds long, that somebody could make in homage to that certain someone.
I have to work on that, John. I have to work on that. And by the way, can I get an audible thing? Can I run something by you?
Yeah, of course, Brad.
Tomorrow, would it be okay if we do just one? We do your A block tomorrow. And the reason being is, and I don't want to belabor the point, but I'm still trying to get my stupid surgery in, and I'm going to see another doctor tomorrow to see if I can get my...
Absolutely, Brad. We'll just do A block tomorrow. That works well.
Because I have an 8:15 appointment. It's one of these things you got to check in by 8 o'clock. And it's going to take me about 25 minutes to drive there. So we'll
Absolutely, Brad. That works great.
We'll do the A block, and then I'll go to my doctor. And I don't want, you ask me from this about time to time. If for those of you who haven't heard, I have this stupid gallbladder issue, and I've had it for 2 years, and I've been warned by one of my doctors that I'm going to taken care of, that it could end up very serious situation. I can be in the hospital for 2 weeks. And what would John do without me to put him on the air and antagonize him for 2 weeks? John, I would feel bad for you. I'd sort of feel like you being like the Rosie O'Donnell in Ireland. You know what I mean? Wouldn't know.
I know. Yeah. Well, everyone knows my life revolves around Brad Hildebrand.
You wouldn't know what to do with yourself.
You are my son,
right?
Brad.
Okay, John. And the computer's messed up. I have a serious problem with the computer this morning. Let's see if this is going to work. And by the way, I have a secret for you. Hopefully it'll be approved today. And then I'll play another great jingle for you, which is something you actually brought up.
Fantastic, Brad.
Okay.